I hop on its back, I climb it as fast as I can, I grab its horns, I look at it in the eye, and I stab its sockets as many times as I can.
Like, if they're gonna try to catch her, couldn't I summon the rats, like, the last 2 charges, because I'm not trying to get anyone killed, to kind of, like, pick them up higher, that way it's, like, a bit higher and still have more cushion beneath them.
No. I punched Nandor for I give him a good knock to knock him out for 10 solid minutes.
Hold on.
For 10 solid minutes, I just one punch to knock him out.
So we like all died and made new characters. We all have that like intro with like everybody having 2-3 people just deep, like
Something like that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Heathens and Heroes, episode 25. Guys, it's good to be back. We've been on a, month and a half, 2-month hiatus for a little bit, but thank you guys so much for being patient. Thank you for waiting for us to come back. We're happy to be here, happy to get back to the show. As always, I'm going to start the show with an intro. This show, Heathens and Heroes, is a show about 5 friends getting together to play Dungeons & Dragons as well as they know how to, which isn't very much. With your heroes, Kraegor, Mr. Ramus, Mr. Nandor, and Einar, alongside our Dungeon Master, Matt. We go on a journey, and it's a treacherous journey. I forgot the words, but it's a treacherous journey. And it's a journey. You know, it's one of those journeys that people take. It's just it's fantastic.
You know, we've been like on a break, and you just forgot everything. It's okay.
I'm a little rusty. I'm not gonna lie. But a treacherous journey. We're gonna journey it, and we're journeying. Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I love it. It's the perfect intro.
What I do want to say, though, is thank you guys so much for your support. If you want to support us more, you can always watch us on Twitch every week. Now, it should be every week. Pay attention to our Twitter to find out when we're going to go live. You can also support us on our YouTube channel by searching Heathens and Heroes, or by waiting for it in the chat or clicking the link down below in the About Me section. We're always looking for more support. So if you guys could follow our YouTube channel, it would be tremendous. Thank you so much. Without further ado, thank you guys for welcoming us back. I think we'll go ahead and let Matt take it from here. Matt, go ahead.
All right. Last time in the Underdark, our little group of adventurers that had started together in a drow prison have made their way through many trials and tribulations, and made some friends, some enemies along the way, some that stuck, 3 of which who now pretty much travel with them, being the first 2, Ront and Eldith from the prison, and now a half-elf sorcerer named Einar, who has joined them in their pursuit to find a way out of the Underdark. That journey has now taken them to Blingdenstone, a deep gnome city that is recently refounded by the Daggermatic clan. And so coming to this city, they have found it under siege by all manner of problems within and without the city. Going through one of the old sections of Blingdenstone called Rockblight, you all faced a variety of these problems in the form of earth elementals and a Medusa and just all sorts of terrible. However, after some nice rolls, some iffy moments, and reuniting with your friend Jimjar from the city before, and using his assistance, you all made it back after discovering a amalgamation of oozes that was hiding deeper within the caverns. On your return, you all were offered the chance to have a few things enchanted for taking care of the steadfast stone and cleansing it for the earth callers here, and also given access to a clerical tome for assisting the borough warden Yadgar here in the city as well. After some heated moments and discussion, you all had split up and made your way to different parts of the city, and kept yourselves busy for a little while, just enjoying the comfort and peace, and also not having to completely always be around each other every moment to survive. You spend a little time apart. And for you, Ramas, I believe it was crafting, and spending time in the Hall of Clatters, Cavern of Clatters. For Einar, it was reading. Nandor spent a little bit of time with the Earth Callers, finding a bit of peace. And Cragor, I think, found some crowns and continued to draw. I think that's where Cragor ended up. So, after spending about an hour or two separated from each other, you were all approached by a messenger, a deep gnome, that comes up to you all as you're, kind of spending your own time, and is just kind of, sorry to disturb you. The chief and acting chief, Dorbo, would like a few words with you all and the rest of the council whenever I'd say about 2 to 3 hours from now, once they all gather. And each of you are approached individually in your separate areas by this messenger and told this response. So,
Okay.
what would you like to do? You do have a few hours before this meeting is called up, and it will take still a little bit of time for the enchanting of the gear for the Earth Callers. But anything you would like to do at the moment?
I would just like to continue trying to feel the ground, I guess, like the earth, like what I'm doing already, like just trying to see if I could, sense it.
Okay. And the rest of y'all continuing where you are now currently?
I'm gonna try to forge some armor, Ron.
Okay. Are you going to take your hook horror armor and work on that, or try and have a completely separate piece that you want to work on?
The hook horror. Keep working with it.
Okay.
Now that I have an actual forge.
Yeah, for sure. And they definitely have some materials. They would ask just a small fee for buying some of the materials, but that'll depend on your roll, because if you roll really well, you'll use less materials. Roll not as well, you might have to use a little more.
Of course.
So I'll get to that in a moment. Cragor, Einar, anything y'all do in the interim before the meeting in the evening?
I'm just gonna draw a nice picture for the gentleman that we're gonna be meeting. It's very
For
nice.
the chief?
Yes.
Okay.
It says you are a wonderful chief, and I love you. Love Cragor. And it's a picture of him, so you know.
That's a picture of him. You do well, buddy. You do well.
And for you, Einar, anything for you?
I'm going to finish looking through the rituals and copying out what ones I'm grabbing. And then I'm going to head up to where the enchanters are.
Okay.
And I believe it was... Who was it, the leader? Not it.
So you're looking for Segojin, or no, no, that's for where you are now. You're looking for the other guys. Gurnik Tapfinger.
Yes.
Yeah, of the Stoneheart Enclave.
Yes. So Einar is going to walk up to him and basically go, so, I appreciate that you guys have offered to enchant gear for our group for what we did and all of that, but I don't actually have anything really for you to enchant, so just letting you know. Thanks.
Is there anything that we can offer you? At least as appreciation for what you have done with the steadfast stone.
I mean, if you've got anything magical laying around that maybe would help me, something for protection, or maybe like a, I don't know, like a staff of some sort or something like that, maybe?
I will have one of my acolytes look through our stores, see if there is something we can find for you.
Much appreciated. But if you don't, no worries. I appreciate it all the same.
Of course, as we appreciate you.
Is this where Nandor is right now?
Yeah, he's kind of off to the side next to one of the menhir stones that they have, just kind of eyes closed, looking like he's meditating.
Do I need to roll anything for that, by the way?
Yes, I'm going to have you be rolling a wisdom check for me. Straight wisdom.
I walk
Village check,
over and
Yes.
sit across from him and just silently sit there, meditate with him.
Okay. So you, as you're sitting there, Nandor, and just kind of feeling out the ground, trying to sense the more subtle vibrations that these large, almost obelisk-like stones next to you. You don't quite sense the subtler vibrations of the stones, but you do start feeling yourself picking up like the softer footfalls of the deep gnomes who naturally just kind of move very lightly across the ground. And you start kind of picking up the movement of those around you. So whenever Einar does eventually arrive, you do kind of feel the difference between his steps and that of the deep gnomes just as you're kind of resting there.
Okay. So kind of like a Toph, a little.
Yeah. Just imagine if, Toph's eyesight was kind of blind, so it was very blurry.
Okay.
But yeah. Like this, just terrible.
She is blind. Matt, she is blind.
No, this kind of blind.
Oh.
This kind, right here.
I was like, Toph is blind in Avatar, but okay, we're good.
Yeah, but so is Daredevil, but he still sees. Yeah.
I know. Did you get everything that you needed? Like eyes closed, still just like.
Creepy. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Are you ready for this meeting, or?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't really know if we're doing anything in particular for this meeting other than probably being told, giant oozes, that's terrible.
Well, we're probably gonna have to kill some slimes because something about that just it feels like it's gonna happen now that they're gonna come. The parade is coming, and we can't stop it. It's too late.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we're probably going to be on the front lines of that escapade too. So, from one disaster to another, I guess.
That's what it always seems to be.
I love parades.
What did I sense him?
Gregor, roll me a stealth.
He's stealth, man. You did not see that.
No.
I didn't feel you.
Gregor, the clutch still's got it. No.
Am I not supposed to be here? I'm sorry.
You're fine. Come back.
Yeah, I just love parades. That's all.
It's not that kind of parade, Gregor. It's not.
It's more
This
of like
one
a-
is going to possibly decimate this town.
All right. That sounds like an awesome parade. So are we
Not
talking
for
like?
the deep gnomes? Not for the deep gnomes, buddy.
Uh-oh.
I think more like a parade of like death, like just like death things coming and killing things around it, and just like that kind of a parade, like an army of really bad things marching through the town and slaughtering everyone. That kind of a parade.
Oh. Okay. Can we still watch it?
I mean,
We're gonna be fighting in it, buddy.
we're gonna
We're gonna
try
be
and-
in the parade?
We're gonna be in the parade.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Well, okay. Have you ever seen that moving or that play Drumline?
No. Yes? No.
Well, it's kind of like that. We're essentially gonna be one part of the parade, and there's gonna be another side of the parade. But we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. Not like to the beat or whatever, but just killing each other.
All right, I'm in. Let's do it.
All right, buddy.
Can I be in the front?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, yeah.
I always wanted to be in a parade.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay.
And so,
I just shake my head. Quiet.
appropriate.
I'm really glad I'm in the forge right now.
Yeah. Speaking of, Ramos, go ahead and first make me an intelligence check with advantage because the deep gnomes are there and assisting you with the design of incorporating the materials into your what you have already. And now I would like you to make me a strength check. And are you proficient in blacksmithing supplies and tools?
I am not proficient in blacksmithing.
Okay. Then for now, go ahead and just add
Wait.
your strength.
I mean, I'm just proficient in just the armors, but yeah, no.
Okay.
Nothing.
Then just make me a strength check. Then for now.
Normal or advantage?
I'll say this one can be at advantage still because they are still kind of assisting with the process. All right. So they will. And what kind of armor are you trying to make? Plate armor equivalent.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see real quick. So I will say it is possible for you to do so. It will take about because you had, I want to say, half the armor done with the hook
Mhm.
horse thing.
Yeah.
So it'll probably take about 200 gold for the
Just-
material.
So we didn't go over how much we had before the crash. So I'm sitting at all zeros. on my
Yeah,
money.
I know
So
y'all had a bit split between from that one horde. It was around 300 to 400 gold each, at least, I want to say.
right.
And then there was a little bit of spending in the town.
Highwind and I had gotten the other loot when we were fighting the lady with the exploding head. The exploding head.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Can't remember her name right now. I just can't. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll say you've probably got around. We'll put you at about 380 right now.
Okay.
And then I'll see if I can go through and fine tune, because I know it was mentioned, I think, in episode 24. So I'm just gonna have to double check it.
Gotcha. All right, so I have 380 gold, and it's going to cost me how much? To what?
200 to pay for the materials to complete pretty much the entire lower half and reinforce what you have across the top.
Done.
So
200 spent.
but it does take you up to the time of the meeting to get most of it out of the way. Doesn't completely make it. You still will probably need some time in the morning to completely finish it out.
Okay.
But easy enough to do. So.
Sounds good.
All right. And then, unless there is anything else, you all convene outside the hall.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
you all 3 by 1 gather outside of the Daggermatic Hall. Or Diggermatic, sorry. I have it misspelled on my page right now. That's the problem.
It's all right, Matt. Just don't let it happen again.
And so you all gather. You can see that outside of the hall itself, there is Jimjar, who is kind of leaning up against one of the pillars, waiting for y'all, seemingly as well, kind of raises a hand up to you as you all begin to approach. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. How been enjoying the kind of relaxation after Rockblight?
Hey, man. I know we just saw each other, but for some reason it feels like it's been so much longer.
Don't metagame, you son of a bitch.
You know, it's the Underdark. It just plays with time, you know. So, are you all ready for a little bit of this more official stuff, business bits?
I love official stuff.
You take the lead, Gregor.
Yeah, official sounds great.
You know what? I think I will.
Promise. Please, just keep an eye on him.
All right, men. Follow me.
I'll be behind.
It's this way, buddy. Turn him around.
But oh, wait, this way.
Great. This way, buddy. This way.
That yeah, no, I knew that. I knew that.
Just keep turning him.
I'm just gonna keep my hand on his shoulder.
Just gotta walk him in slowly.
I just follow behind the group.
Jimjar just kind of heads in a little bit ahead of y'all, and as he approaches, he kind of calls out to what you can see to be a gathering a little bit larger than what you had seen before whenever you had first arrived. Chiefs! I got the old folks. They're here to tell what they know, partake, all the good stuff. I'm just gonna, and he kind of sits down in one of the benches off to the side.
I want to sit right there where I'm at, by the way.
All right.
I'm gonna pull
Chief.
Cragor to this side.
Hold on.
Cragor,
Ramus, hold on. Chief, before we go on with this official stuff, as you would call it, I want to bestow on you a gift from all of us. Everybody.
just from him.
No, it's all from
Just
all,
from
it's from
him.
all of us.
Nope,
Everybody
just
said
from
that they wanted me to give this to you. So,
Just from Cragor.
Chieftain, I present to you a Cragor original. I call it the Chief of with the best chief ever. That's what I call it. And it's you. I drew a picture of you, and that's me next to you. And then I also have my pal Craig. He's there too. And then
Go ahead and roll me a dexterity for the quality.
Please let it be good.
While he's doing that, I lean over to Nandor and I'm gonna say, I go, did he just call it the chief of the best chief ever?
Yes.
I'm gonna lean back and be like, Shh, just semantics, let it go. Just let it go.
what was that, Einar?
I
said,
do you, buddy.
good job,
You're
buddy.
doing great. You're doing
Thank you.
great.
Great. Yep.
Even though he just rolled a
Keep
21,
going.
he's good. He's doing good.
So
One of the guards reaches out and kind of takes it for a moment, inspects it, passes it, and he's just like, And you see Dorbo take it.
thank you. And I
Let's
bow.
go, buddy.
I bow and
Let's
walk
go.
back.
Let's go. We're sitting over here, buddy. We're sitting over here.
What's
He
over here?
Passes it over to the other desk where Cinny is sitting, and she's kind of looking at him curiously. Takes it as well. Well, we captured your likeness, that's for sure. I'm keeping this. I am definitely keeping this.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been practicing.
You did good, bud. You did good. We're quiet now. We're quiet.
I lean over to Nandor and I go, did you actually look at it before he gave it to him? I mean,
I
like,
did
he
not.
wasn't naked in it or something, was he?
I didn't see anything. He just kind of did it.
By the way, if you look in the back there, Chief, there's a picture of Nandor
nope.
naked. Oh, sorry.
Nope. I'd like do like the hand thing over the mouth to like shut him up. Like,
All of the deep gnomes just kind of very slowly turn to look at you, Kregor,
I'm just gonna raise my hand.
and then turn
It's
to look
risque.
at you, Nandor.
I'm just gonna raise my hand, snap my fingers, and make it smell horrible near Cragor.
Oh, God, what's that? Oh, Ramus, dude, you need a bath.
must be the forge. And I'm gonna like look over at Nandor and be like, really?
So, all the gnomes who have been kind of just like now in that range of confusion to amusement to that blank, like, what the hell stare, looking at y'all, you can see that, amongst Dorbo and Cinny, there's also Sark, who you had met at the staging area, who kind of was acting as sort of militant command for the main forces in front of Rocklight. You can see that there is Glyphic Shroomlight from the Ruby and the Rough, as well as Garnick Tapfinger, who you had
My boy.
seen earlier. Garnick,
Homie.
sorry. Yep. There is also a deep gnome that you had not seen before, who is a female with this sort of tuft of gray-black hair that is not necessarily braided back, but you can tell it's sort of scrunched up against the back of her head. But she wears similar Stoneheart Enclave robes as Gurnik. And you can also see there are a few deep gnomes who have sort of like the suspenders and the dirtier gear. And you can tell just from the way you had come in that these are probably a variety of miners from the surrounding area who have kind of been brought in for this as well. And as they're all looking in from the wall in the backside, you see the Burrow Warden Yadgar kind of float in and sees everybody staring at y'all and just goes, "What did I miss?" As they all kind of startle for a moment and look at him and go, and Dorbo raises his hand and shakes his head and goes, "Nothing to worry about. Just a gift. Yes, a gift. We were just beginning, now that all parties have arrived, to begin speaking about the complications that we have learned and the things that have changed with your assistance." And as he kind of makes a motion to the four of you sitting down and you are standing,
Yep.
I'm gonna be hunched over the entire time, like keeping my hands over my mouth.
and as he does, he goes, "From what I understand, for the rest of you who have yet to meet these ones, this is a nameless group that has sort of been thrown and stuck together."
Actually,
He kind of looks over at y'all, and the rest do as well.
we kind of came up with the name. We're Prisoners of Fate.
See, the deep gnomes all begin kind of to exchange glances amongst each other. And you see Cinny has this little kind of half smirk, and as well as Gurnik. And Dorbo nods and goes, "From what I have heard, from what you've told me and seen, this might be quite a fitting name for you as well."
We kind of lean over to Ramus and I said, I thought we agreed on Kragor and the Kraganites.
Sorry, buddy, that got overruled.
Oh, all right. Still like it.
It was a good name, because just not the best one that we went with. Sorry.
Understood. Proceed.
Hey, do you have any more paper in those crayons?
Yeah, I think so. You want some?
No. I want you to take some time and draw what you see in this area. To just practice. I want you to practice for a little bit, okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Work on it, Yeah, get it. Yeah.
So these Dorbo continues, kind of making a motion towards y'all once more. "These prisoners of fate have had their destinies intersect with ours, and they have come seeking a way to the surface. Yet, with all that has gone on around us, we have been unable to provide the resources. So in terms of mutual benefit, they have been assisting us so we can help them. And in their pursuits and assistance, they have journeyed into Rockblight and discovered a plot most foul. The strange and seemingly random oozes that we have begun to see an increase of as of late has a source, a call that gathers them in the deepest parts of old Blingden Stone." And at this, you can see that the others who are all kind of just listening curiously now start to look worried, and the small little factions that are there kind of begin to whisper amongst each other. And he goes, "No. These adventurers have recently returned a few hours earlier, and they have seen the inside. Jimjaw has told me a little bit of his recount, but would one of you tell us exactly what you saw, and if you think the threat is more immediate in your eyes?"
Okay.
Nose goes.
I gently elbow Nandor.
Okay.
That's you.
Okay. So, hi. I'm Nandor. Introductions to begin with. The guy next to me is Einar. Next to him is Kragor, and next to him is Ramos. So there is this. It was essentially a spire, right, Matt?
So it was
Kind of.
It was a ball of glue.
sphere,
Yeah, sphere.
but it was because I know you had kind of looked in briefly as well. You
Yeah.
got up to it. You could tell from the interior that it was kind of built like a empty chamber or a stadium, almost like some sort. It had seats and a center podium that was
Okay.
crushed, and things like that.
Okay.
You're not sure what it was originally. I think Jim Jar told you if he did, it might have been.
The ghost told us it was the Hall of Justice or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically their court area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we went to this area, and Jim Jar called it the Hall of Justice. It was overrun by a bunch of slimes, just on the floor, on the walls, on the ceiling. And we came across this figure that looked like a man, but as soon as I approached, they turned into slime. They dropped the form and they turned into slime and slid away. And I had peeked my head in, and there was another figure, and it looked like a woman. They also turned back into slime and they slid away. But other than that, that was about it. But it's an exorbitant amount of just slime creatures just constantly gathering. There's more and more. There's a lot more than we thought there were.
One of the figures kind of calls, one of the miners speaks up. Oh, and what do you think? You think it's gonna be something that builds, rolls through, or is it trying to expand, or is it just gonna stay there? If it's gonna stay there, I say we just seal it off and be done with it.
So, about that, well, they said that they're going to bring the parade here.
And that there is just this, like, not necessarily a cacophony because they don't just yell at each other, but there is an intense kind of heated discussion immediately between different people and factions of, well, if it's coming through here, what are we going to do? Are we going to try and seal up the doors? Are they strong enough? Could they seal it up? Are they acid resistant against that much ooze? And you know, a few conversations start getting thrown back and forth.
Okay.
You do hear Sark at one point kind of going, look, we are already holding off the rats and everything from outside. Ooze is leaking in from the roof. We do not have the forces for this. We can't deal with this. We should just leave this place and come back. And other people are disagreeing with that.
Can I
Okay.
stand
Go.
real quick?
Okay. If you stand, I'm going to be like,
I have a plan. I will be calm and cool-headed. I promise.
Ramos, you have the floor.
I am Prince Ramos of the Rashimi clan. Similar.
It takes you a few, like, 3 times of repeating that, kind of like having to get a little bit louder.
Like I'll get like a loud booming voice, like
yeah, not the yelling at
Okay,
them,
hang on,
but the
hang on.
orator voice.
Yeah.
Instead, where are the? Let me see.
What's that?
No, I'm trying to basically make a loud noise without using a spell slot.
Prestidigitation can make a semi-loud noise. Like it's not like full-on thunderclap loud.
Okay,
but it's,
then
it's
I'm just gonna.
But can it be used to silence?
No, okay. So basically, like instead of just like
and it
snapping
can
my,
definitely be enough for that.
so instead of like snapping my fingers, I'm just gonna do like one big like clap, and it's just gonna go silent after that. I'm assuming.
So you try and start off the first time, Ramos, and you like give the humph and look over at Nandor, and Nandor.
And then I'm like, enough.
And like a clap on, clap off with the loud sound, they just all quickly look to you and then look over at you, Ramos, who's kind of taking the step forward. Now you have their attention.
I am Prince Ramos of the Rashimi clan. There's a force coming here that is so great that you've never seen before. I too have seen this with me and the surrounding clans. They are called the Shu. They want to decimate and destroy everyone around them. But what can be done is if we bring our resources together and become one. No more fighting, no more scaredness. We become one giant group. We must make peace with each other, and we can fortify this land. We can set traps. We can set buildings. We can set scouts. We can send troops ahead. We can learn. We can build. We can do what is needed to be done. But we must be together. My comrades and I have battled many a times. We have been one team, one single army, if you will. Shut up. I look at Nandor and just go with it. We have we have won many battles because we fight together. That is what you need to do here. Now, in preparation, before the enemy is at your gates, and you are still deciding on what you want to do. The more you bicker, the less time you have.
Go
You
ahead.
will all die. That is what's going to happen if you keep bickering.
Together, strong.
Together, we are strong.
Wakanda forever. So go ahead and roll me your choice of persuasion or intimidation.
For the advantage.
For that speech, it is self.
Persuasion or intimidation?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Damn it.
Alright. They all kind of look over at you.
Wait, can I get a reroll? Right? Because it's so low? Or
for
does that only
what?
work for attacks?
That's only for attacks.
Come on, let's let it roll this time, Matt. Let's let it roll one more time.
Get that hype train. So,
I will get so many subs going right now, you don't even know.
all the gifts. No, so as you're there and kind of they all still sit in the silence, it's a good pregnant silence. It takes 30 seconds, a minute that they all just kind of look at each other.
This silence is very pregnant.
They seem to be weighing the options and everything. And as they are, Gurnik speaks up and goes, I will say that these soldiers of fate have managed to wrestle the steadfast stone from its inactivity. I do not. They kind of looks over at y'all and looks to Nomi, the other Stoneheart Enclave woman with him, who steps forward and goes, I don't think we met. My name's Nomi. Do you know if you saw Ogre Max Bane while you were in there? Within Rockblight.
Gregor.
Yes.
He doesn't remember.
I don't remember, honestly. I'm sorry.
It's been so long. It's been a while.
No, yeah.
It
Come
is
on.
creature we believe to be from another plane that has the ability to corrupt our elementals and turn them against us. And if you have seen this creature in there, if you have rid of it of our rid us of its existence, words, then I believe it would give us a much greater fighting chance in the battle to come.
Okay. So is that the this is me talking to Matt. Would that be the no, that was like a stone monster, like the one that like had multiple mouths? Or is that the things that Kragor saw, the ones that were like these floating skeletons? Or is that something entirely different?
Could be something entirely different.
Okay. So then we wouldn't actually, like, we've heard of it, just not know it. Okay.
So we definitely fought some elementals in there.
Yes.
We also killed a Medusa.
Yes.
We also fought some gargoyles.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Did we kill anything else while we were in there?
That monstrosity.
Monstrosity.
It was like
It was just yesterday, but it feels like so long ago.
It was like a clay type of like
Zorn.
the Zorn.
Oh, right, the Zorn. Right, that too.
Oh yeah. I remember the Zorn. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. We fought that. Yep. It's dead.
She kind of,
We killed it.
rubs at her chin, runs a hand through her hair, and goes,
Super dead.
Fortunately, I do not believe any of those were the Bane. From what I understand, I have not seen it myself, but accounts say that it has the ability to merge with the elementals somehow. If
Merge with the elementals?
it merges with them and changes them.
Hey Matt,
Oh,
were we able to get that stone from the one that wasn't part of it?
we do have that. I'm pretty sure
You
I
do have
that.
an earth elemental stone, yes.
I don't remember
mean,
that.
we took a stone from one of the earth elementals that attacked us. But I imagine that's just the power stone that you all used to create them.
Many of the ones that we have are imbued with one such stone, yes.
Okay. Well, there's two friendly earth elementals. Well, now friendly earth elementals, or three.
Yeah,
There's three of
we're best friends.
And they're around the big stone that we cleansed. Yeah, I'm guessing we probably didn't see what you're describing, but I mean, we could always go back and look again.
All right. If the Bane is still there, then the Enclave will divert its resources to keeping it busy and the elementals it changes busy, so that the rest of you can focus on getting through the main problem. You can see Sark kind of get very grumpy and lean up against the railing there, kind of about that, kind of scratching his chin as he thinks on it. What were you going to say, Einar?
I was I'd just like to point out that what I think my my good companion Ramas over there was trying to say was perhaps the solution for this problem would be to broker some sort of peace with the rat people at your gates, the were-rats that are at your gates.
You see Dorbo kind of exchange a look with his wife, and if one of y'all want, you can roll an insight.
Oh, I will roll the shit out of an insight.
Oh, same.
Does he get advantage?
No, insight is self. So
There you go.
All right. That's the advantage. One gets an 8, one gets a 16.
So 24.
So you kind of looking over at them. Nandor, you can't quite read it, but Einar, as you're looking, you can tell that it's a look of exasperation from Dorbo and a look of I got you from Cinny. As she speaks up and goes, well, just thinking about that, I think that if you four would be so kind, as you seem to be a bit more unbiased party compared to the rest of the city, to join me in going to speak with their chief, either this evening or tomorrow.
I would say this evening.
This
Better now than later, because we don't know when they're going to
If
attack.
you're available.
The
of course.
timing is of the essence, so it is most important we do this tonight.
She gives a nod as well and goes, very well. I will prepare soon. When our meeting is adjourned, it will probably be a half hour until I am ready, and you can meet us by the gates. We will disenchant the seal between our two warrens.
Okay.
And so as they're there, you can see that one of the miners who's kind of been mulling it over off to the side pipes up and goes, "Hi, Kazook Pickshine here. If we're dealing with a bunch of oozes and things like that, if we can send somebody up to Neverlight. It's been a while since we've ever heard from them, but they do have a few fungal pools there that I can make an oil with. It'll coat your blades, keep it resistant to all the acid. Only problem is it might be about 2 weeks to get there and back."
Well, given the option between sending somebody and having the chance and not sending somebody and having no chance, I'll go with the send somebody and have the chance.
Is there any way you can lend us something to ride to make the travel faster?
I think that he was suggesting they send one of their people as a scout for that mission.
That works too.
Another speaks up and goes, we've got a few things to ride, but you have to cross the Dark Lake at one point to get to them, at least for the quickest route. And our boys can't handle that, unfortunately.
About that.
What?
No. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
And there's a brief, unease between a few of the miners who look at each other, but they seem to, not push it any further.
My companions had an encounter with a group of, what are they? The fish people.
Kuratones.
What are they?
Kuratones?
Kuatoans. Yes, those people. At the edge, and apparently one of their cities got wiped out by something in the
area.
Say it.
By a Demogorgon.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, you can see most of them are just kind of like, that sounds terrible, but I have no idea what that is. And they don't push it. Like, you can see they're not trying to have that answer.
I'm gonna give them a look like
they just kind of exchange a look like, you know what? We have enough problems.
We'll talk about
that. Let's get this first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chief Diggermatic. We'll talk about that at a later time, I'm sure. But for now, let's focus on the problems at hand.
The beacons of Gundor have not been lit yet. Okay, not yet.
Right.
So another kind of speaks up, one of the deep gnomes there, who seems to be a lack of a better term, merchant. Doesn't really dress as gaudily as most merchants from the surface and things like that, but he does have a little bit of a nicer clothes to him, and he goes, if we are going to be sending people out, we could also send one out to Gracklestug, the Duragar city. I hear their weapons are quite magnificent. It may take a little while as well, but as you said, in times like this, I would rather have it whenever I can.
You said weapons? What kind of weapons?
The Duragar-made blades are resilient to most forms of corrosion, and some of them are, in fact, naturally enchanted, as the Duragar have a bit of the arcane in their blood.
I'm gonna slide him 50 gold and tell him if he can bring me back a weapon.
I'll take the tip.
I will see what I can do.
My man.
And as they're saying this, you can see the burrow warden kind of look amongst them, and then he looks over to you, Einar, and seems to have a thought before speaking up and goes, I believe that with the assistance of some of the ghosts and the warrens and those left over, I can convince them that clearing the oozes will help them achieve a place in the place they once lived, to find a bit of peace. And I will gather the ones I can that are willing and able to assist in the battle.
It would be very commendable of them to offer their aid to their people, even after they've given their lives for them.
And a few will understand that. And Dorbo kind of leans back in his chair a little bit and goes, well, I mean, it's the beginning of a plan. I can give it that.
If I may, Chieftain, Miss, I'm sorry, I don't know the honorific to properly use for you, Miss Nomi, but is it possible for the members of the Stoneheart Enclave to find out where this creature that you spoke of is, to give us even a vague idea of how close that one is to us? Just so that potentially we could hunt it down and destroy it, and then have your earth elementals available for the battle.
The most I know is that it is within Rockblight. It's actually the reason the place is called that, is this creature would corrupt our stones, our elementals. That is why we sealed it with steel doors and adamantium to keep it from spreading further beyond. Where within Rockblight, I am not too sure. But before we make our move, me and some others, we may try to commune with the stones to find out a little bit more.
I think it would be helpful. At least if we did that, we could potentially find and destroy this outsider before it corrupts more of the elementals, or worse yet, causes more havoc when we're actually in the midst of a larger battle.
And it would be it'd be very beneficial entirely. Just to have these extra elementals, just to help against these slimes, this threat that seems to be going on in your city.
Yes.
So first, first things first. We're going. So I wanted to get this sorted out. So we're going to go with
Cindy.
Cinny, to go make a pact with the rats, with the were-rats. And then you were going to send people to, which will take possibly 2 weeks to go get spores, mushrooms, and stuff to make our weapons resistant against acid. And there's also that possibility of going to the Duragar city to get new weapons that are pretty much resistant against everything else. So that's our plan. And to go take care of this.
Ghosts to fight and.
And don't forget the parade.
One of actually Nomi also speaks up and goes, "Oh, I suppose it would be rude to assume, but the other folk who are, well, not deep gnomes who arrived, an orc and dwarven woman, do you know them?"
Yes.
Yes.
That
No.
They are also prisoners of fate.
I mean, yes.
I see. I had met with them actually yesterday. They were going around seeing if they could help, and they are actually out searching for something now. A shrine of our people that was lost called Entomoc's Boon. If they are able to find it, then we may have a way to increase our elemental production for this siege.
And of course, on top of all of this, we have Sark and his defense team.
He gives
Command.
a brief nod to you and goes, "Aye, you can expect to see us in the midst all throughout. If anyone is going to shed blood for this home, it will be us."
Can I reach into my bag for the Medusa head real quick and just be like, "You better."
He's just gonna point at you and be like,
That's it. That's all I got. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
The forge helped me clear some anger out.
So did Eldeth and Runt go together? Did you all send anyone else with them?
We sent one of our own as a guide in a direction. Unfortunately, we have not been able to find it as well. It was lost in the original invasion, and the Earthcallers who oversaw it sought to seek it from falling into their hands.
Okay. Because those two don't like each other to begin with. So
They're fine.
Did you send them
They'll get along.
into dangerous territory?
either way, they'll be fine.
Indeed.
They'll be fine. They have a guide. we are going to.
We shall await you, chieftain.
I'm gonna go back.
Chiefness.
Yeah.
Very well. I shall meet you by the gate to the warrens of these rats in about half an hour. The rest of you, you have your directions, and Dorbo picks up from there and goes, "And we have some ideas and goals. We don't know when this parade is going to be. We don't know how much time we have. So take advantage of what you can, get prepared, and we'll see what we can do."
All right, let's make it snappy, people.
I'm gonna go to
They
Star.
all kind of look at you, Nandor. And then Dorbo's like, and they all start going.
Oh, with
I'm
the
gonna-
snaps, there were the loud claps, like with the snaps. So
I'm gonna to make my way to start.
Okay.
I'm going to tell him I'm gonna apologize for earlier.
I'll say he is kind of like in the process of walking out with the rest, but he sees you and
Start.
takes a step off to the side and makes a motion just to, a little away from the rest of the crowd as they're filing out.
I want to apologize for the heated argument. As you can see, we were deep in battle for a while. Anger from battle. You know this. You know this rage. I apologize. And to offer, as a sympathy, I would like to help in setting some traps. I see some key points that we can use. If you are up for ideas, I'd like to use my military strategics to help.
Kind of looks you over for a moment. No blood was drawn. No skin off my back. Come, let's see what you know, Prince.
Do the Spartan handshake. Let's go.
Though you have to bend down a little because, deep gnome height. So you file out, and I will say, go ahead and Ramas, give me an intelligence check with advantage. Add your proficiency for your military background and everything as well, and just kind of.
You gotta be kidding
well,
me.
I was gonna give you bardic inspiration, but never mind.
Well, with a +3 to that for your proficiency, it's at least a 7.
No, dude, this is weak.
Oh, most of your traps that as you're going through them with him, you realize are not made for amorphous oozes that can eat through most things. So you find yourself having to try and readapt a little bit compared to what you're used to. But you do learn some tricks from the deep gnomes in the process, at least. So
You're like working on all the things I'm like horrible at. Like let's do some strength and stuff like that, But like let's set
a
those.
military man isn't always his muscles.
My brother was the smarter one.
Yeah,
No, seriously, he was the smarter one. I was just the muscles.
no, I remember. That's okay. It's okay.
He was loved. I wasn't. It's okay.
You gotta fill those shoes somehow. Starts here, man. So, you all fill out anything that the rest of you all do, or just go to prep up to meet Cindy outside the gate.
Yeah, I just.
All right.
You said it was gonna take
Same.
half an hour.
Yeah, I'm helping the guys out right now. So, and then when the half hour, like closer, like the 25 minutes, I'm gonna walk over and go back with the guys.
So I'm going to talk to Finger. What's his name?
Oh, I was like, you're talking to your finger.
Yeah, I'm talking to my finger.
Gurnik Tapfinger.
Gurnik. I'm gonna talk to him.
I was just having like SpongeBob moments or something, just.
The gang's all here.
Muppet Treasure Island, Oh, he lives in my finger.
Okay. I just want him to teach me, like, in like that short time, like, because Nandor is like really getting into like this meditating thing because it's calming, especially like here in the Underdark. And he wants to know like pointers and stuff like that. That way, like it's easier to feel the earth and like in that short amount of time. Like obviously, whenever he gets back, continue. But
anything else, or just telling him that you want to continue? That's
like just if he could give me any pointers, like to see, like to help me get more efficient at it rather than like constantly fail at it.
Well, decades of experience helps, and time is the most effective, as it is also the most effective for moving the earth. However, if you are looking to accelerate your learning, try to remove the rest of your senses and submerge your hands completely in the soil. It may help in losing all but your sense of touch.
Thank you.
And best of luck with Cine.
We'll see how this goes.
All right, bye.
Then I head up to the gate.
All right. So each of y'all make your way one by one to the gate, and you can see that Cine is there with a small guard around her as well, who are more or less just kind of waiting. You can see there are a few other earth callers who are there and seem to be moving across the door, trying to remove arcane sigils in the process with these chisels and hammers. And as they go, Jim Jar is kind of following up with y'all as well and goes, well, I'd follow y'all through, but they don't really like us on that side, so I think this one will have to be all y'all. Sorry we can't send much of an escort.
Jim Jar, I think you should come with us.
I think I should stay.
Nah, you should come with us. You want to know why? I'll bet $100 we do get this treaty going, or 100 gold.
I was about to say, we don't have dollars.
I know. Sorry.
Dollars?
Wrong part of Faerun. So, it's just like... I'll take that bet, but I don't have to be there for that.
No, you do have to be there for that.
That wasn't part of
Because
the bet.
if we don't get out of there, we're gonna need that extra man, and you're that extra man.
Roll a
Also,
persuasion. Oh, sorry.
if we do, technically speaking, we could lie to you in terms of what actually happens.
Cine wouldn't lie to me.
How do you know she wouldn't?
He looks over at Cine, who's kind of in a conversation with another person, and looks back at y'all and goes,
Advantage or normal?
normal.
Plus
So-
10, baby.
He just kind of stares at you for a moment. All right. But I don't like it.
Yeah,
Cine,
yeah.
I'm coming with. She looks over confusedly and is like, what? No, you're not. And sorry, I made a bet. I have to now. They demanded it. Talk to them. And he just kind of walks past her towards the gate. She looks over at you, Nandor, and like the rest of y'all, and just like, what? Why?
Just trust
In
me.
case. In case.
Extra precaution.
I don't know.
Let's just hope. Make sure he doesn't talk to anybody. That's all I
I'm gonna be
have.
like looking over, like in the distance.
I snap my fingers, and there's a zipper that forms on his mouth.
Wait, you
So-
can do that?
Minor illusion.
I should count myself lucky you haven't done that yet to me.
You mean like this?
There's the idea.
So she walks over as well and goes, "All right, so we know from previous experiences that they have a few guarding the gate and quite a few within. We are not sure of their exact numbers, but it is their territory, their rules. So we try to play as nice as we can. You all seem to be on board with the idea of getting them here, and I appreciate that, as I've been trying to convince my husband to allow this for a while. But previous negotiations between our people has been difficult, so let's
I'll
hope
do the talking.
I will let you help me do the talking.
Be able to assist you.
I'm just gonna stand there and look like muscle.
Me
That will be
too.
enough.
You're with me, buddy. You're with me, Nandor. Or not Nandor. Cragor, sorry.
It's okay, Jim Jar. I mean, Ramus.
There we go.
Ramus, you're with me, Ramus.
Wait, which one's
Cragor's
Ramus
coming
again?
with me.
Who's Cragor? Oh, wait, that's me.
Wait, where's Craig?
Oh my God, Craig.
Let's just go. Let's just go.
So the Earth Callers finish carving out the sigils that kept the door sealed, and as they do, you see this faint, almost like a light purple color edge the very perimeter of the door itself, and almost like a sealed chamber. There's this slight of the hiss as it all releases and the pressure just kind of relaxes. The guards look to each other for a moment and then look to Cinny, who gives a nod, and they open up the adamantium doors, sliding inward. And as they do, you can hear a bit of movement from the other side as you hear one just surprised, "Ah, shit!" and kind of this scattering. And a moment later, you hear this almost like a high-pitched war horn that echoes in the little cave that just you all hear coming out of the now open door. Cinny looks back out at the rest of you over at Jim Jar, who's just kind of like off on the side, and she goes, "Are you all ready?"
Ladies first, lead the way.
I step in front of her and I walk in.
She lets you take the first few steps.
Craig, no.
No, he's already walking.
Yeah, I'm already in there. I'm in there.
And I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
All right. So you begin to walk in, and you're just kind of walking that center bit into the door, and about 6 steps in, you begin to feel the floor beneath you crack and crumble as this frail lattice work that was there with a dirt top collapses in, revealing a pit. But you manage to step back as you look down, and you can see there are jagged spears and stones that have been carved and put at the bottom of that pit as well. And as you take a step back and look down, you hear Jim Jar go, "Oh, yep." Mm.
And I look at Cindy. I say, well, you heard the man. Ladies first.
I'm like grabbing Cragor like by his back, like holding him, like.
And just as you say that, you all begin to hear the sounds of many feet beginning to approach, as about 5 or 6 were-rats come from around the corner with spears, swords, daggers, a variety of just makeshift or gathered weapons that they've gotten, and you can see that kind of around the corner from whence they came, there are a few others who are beginning to like peek around and look and just wait to see what happens. And as they approach, one of them from the group takes a step forward and is just, "Hi, who are you? What do you want?"
I'm gonna like look over at Nandor and be like, "Hey, don't you have a flute that can do something with rats?"
Would
So
it work? Would I know? Would it work?
you have no
Only
idea.
one way to find out, man.
Only one way to find out, buddy.
Cindy takes a step forward and goes. It's
I
your
start playing the flute.
We're with rats. I mean, it was a good assumption. Like, hey, he's got that thing, right?
Cindy takes a step forward and says, "My name is Cine Diggermatic, Chief Interim for the Deep Gnomes in Blingdenstone, and we have come to parley with your leader." And they all begin to kind of look at each other a little bit and look back over at the rest of y'all. "And who's all them?" "Oh, they are my escort, unbiased and unafraid."
Hi, I'm Gregor.
One of them in the back row kind of like waves a little bit.
Ah, Craig, another friend of yours. We're making peace already. Look at that.
Can
You
I
see? Oh, go for it.
what was it Topsy and Turvy?
Mhm.
What about him?
Do these were rats look like?
One of them.
Looking amongst them, you don't see Topsy or Turvy in them.
No.
But,
No. It's the
you
appearance
do-
of.
It is
Yeah.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's like Topsy and Turvy, guys.
Did I ever meet them?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
No. You met one of them, and then
yeah,
Pretty
he
sure I
did-
met one of them. Or if I didn't, you told me about them. So pick one.
yeah,
I
no,
would.
he-
Okay, I would have told
No,
you
yes.
because I did. I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
tell the story to
we-
Jim Jar, and that would be included in there.
But that was Arcados who was there, because that was pre Kuato Village.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard the story. So
Wow, Einar, not all were rats look the same, okay?
you can't just say that.
Again, zipper. I snap my fingers, and there's a zipper on his mouth.
You see a few of them look at each other, and the one who spoke makes a motion at one of them, who retreats back around the corner, and the ones who are remaining stay there, kind of watching you for the moment, still weapons at the ready, uneasy, but not necessarily hostile. And after a few minutes, another comes back, and you see a small whisper exchange of words, and the one who spoke looks at you all and goes, seems that you get your chance. Chipgrin is going to have a conversation with you. And if all goes well, you might walk out of here too. Stay on your goods." And he turns around and begins to walk back, and the were-rats kind of split to flank y'all as they begin to try to start escorting you through the tunnels.
Is it really necessary?
I don't want to
Alright.
disappoint this guy, but this is the first time we've had weapons drawn on us.
And as they're walking through, you all kind of keep an eye around you, looking around to look for any potential threats as you are here kind of escorting, and you know that there's a bit of tense hostilities. And as you go deeper into the warrens here, you can see that there are a few different caves that branch to the left and the right from the main entrance. And going to the right, you can see down those halls a little bit more garbage and old clothes or just things that have been gathered or tossed aside and looted. And
So to break the tension, I'm gonna start basically singing.
Why can't we be friends?
No. It's like we're gonna make new. No, we're gonna.
We are.
No, shut up. Old enemies become new allies, and there's nothing better than that, or something of the sorts. Like, we're here to make a treaty, and we're going to kill some slime. We're gonna stop the parade, or something of the sorts.
We wish it was our birthday too. Hey.
Hey.
All right. So while you underground shanty about the potential alliance coming up, go ahead and make me a performance.
Can I get an advantage?
You're the only one singing here.
With fireworks and stuff like that, with precipitation. Nope. Okay.
Straight. All right. So you are trying to impromptu the words as best as you can. But there's a lot of weird things that you're not used to throwing into a song right altogether. So there's some haltingly moments. But you can see that there are a few people who kind of peek up at it and seem to
playing
like
on the flute. Like, not like, to summon rats, but just playing the flute.
And you can definitely tell it's more the sound of actual music being played rather than the words that seem to be catching people's attention at the moment.
Is the guy wave to Kragor? Is he dancing?
He's not dancing, but his tail does seem to be swishing with a melody.
We find their Kragor and our Kragor. Right? We bridge the gap, all right? We make that bridge.
He's still in the very back row, kind of towards the back tail end. So,
Okay, so in the middle of that, I'm be like, "Hey, you, come here!"
Kragor, draw him a picture.
I'm already ahead of you.
He kind of walks his way up as y'all are walking and everything. He's like, "Huh?"
This is Kragor. Hi. What's your name?
I'm kind of shy. I'm just like, oh god.
I'm like,
Hi.
I'm Rhaegor.
My name's Kragor. Do you like crowns?
What's a crown?
It's really cool. You just draw pictures. Like, you get a piece of paper. You take this thing out. And look. I'll show you.
Kind of grabs one and makes the tentative very first mark. Like magic.
No.
Yes.
No.
Let
This is
them have
magic.
It's 100% magic. Yes.
Nope.
Snatches the paper out of your hand and just tears it.
Bless you.
What did you make?
Pockets the crown. Just kind of slowly slinks back into his spot.
Rhaegor, no, come back.
I like that guy.
So
That's it.
with that, you all make your way out of these kind of small winding tunnels into a much larger cavern that you can first get the smell of. And it is the smell of many bodies kind of packed together, making one living space out of an area. You can see, compared to the tunnels and doorways that they had for homes in the main Blingden Stone, they have a small just network of carved out little spaces in the walls and wherever they can fit the space. There are tents and crates and things of that nature just spread wherever they can be fit. You can see amidst the occasional fungi that is growing here, providing a little bit of light. There are also a few petrified fungus that are spread out through the area.
Does it smell?
It does smell.
Okay, so I'm gonna use prestidigitation, and just make like for all the people that aren't from there, make it smell better for them.
all right, definitely that part's easily enough to do. And you can definitely see Cinny kind of give a very subtle thank you over his shoulder. But as you begin to approach, you can see that in the center of this chamber, there is a very slight high rise. It's only about 4 feet off the ground, but as you approach, you can see that there are 2 large were-rats who are kind of standing off to the side, and in the very center of it, there is a stone and bone throne. That is a fun word to say. And sitting atop it, you can see a lean, stretched out, kind of, in that seat of comfort pose, were-rat, who is wearing a loose, almost like a toga robe, with little bits of leather braces across him to cover his arms and legs in some areas.
I bring to you a cushion as an offering for your butt on that throne.
You can see that across the back of it and over the seat, there is a giant badger pelt that he has.
Like your style.
And he does have a mismatched crown with like little bits of silver and gold and ivory and different things that have just kind of give it the semblance of a crown, but it is the most makeshift one y'all have ever seen. And he's sitting there just kind of rubbing his snout as you all approach and the crowd parts, and he's staring down at y'all, just an obvious look of distrust across his face. And as you all approach, he goes, well, look what we got here. The deep gnome decides to come on home. You like what we did with your old place? We work with what we got with almost 100 mouths to feed. And who's all this? And as Cindy goes to approach, he goes, nah, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Who are you? As he motions to y'all. And let me pop up this.
Okay. I'm going to be like, oh, us? Okay. So the one with the Minotaur helmet, that's Kragor. He met his little friend Rhaegor. Then that's Ramas, that's Einar, and I'm Nandor.
This is Craig. Michelle Craig. And then I put him back.
3 surface dwellers and a trader and food. What are you all doing here?
Well, do you know about the slimes?
We avoid them.
Well,
They're a problem.
Well, here's the thing. They are going to steamroll through here. They're going to steamroll through everything here. And we've essentially come to make a treaty between you, the deep gnomes, and... Here's the thing. unless you want to lose everyone to those slimes, to those acidic slimes that will devour everything in their path.
We've got a way out. If they get devoured, we just have a full city rather than this shit.
Well, little do you know that I don't know if you know what a Demogorgon is, but it is a what demon prince of the
More or less, yeah.
a Demogorgon, which is a demon prince roaming around here that was summoned not too long ago, and it was sighted very near here. So I don't think that it doesn't matter where you go. It's going to be a treacherous journey, and it will eventually come here. And you might think that you will be fine, that it won't come to you, but you know what? It will. So we need to join both forces together to take care of the slime, and then eventually that.
Uh-huh. And so if you were here to offer some sort of alliance, what exactly can you offer us? And then he looks over to Cinny, who goes, well, we know from what we can see that you are running out of space. If we are successful in this endeavor, we will be able to regain the full control of our city. And we will have an option to provide a home and space for the two of us. And if you shed blood with us, I'm sure I can convince my daft husband sometimes that there no longer needs to be a divide. And he just kind of leans back a little bit and goes, yeah. Still get what we're owed, because we're still deep gnomes. But what else? I mean, how can I trust the word of just these outsiders? And as he says that, you hear a voice kind of from the crowd going, excuse me, come on, hey, come on. And you see, poking like through the crowd,
Yeah.
there is
There he is.
a faces that you have not seen in quite a while.
I turn. It's like Topsy, Turvy.
Hey, and fucking Turvy, the gent, it kind of nods to you, still the little more silent one, as Turvy comes up and it's just like, hey, sorry, could have been better times, I know, good to see you, King Chipgrin, don't worry, it is actually because of them that we escaped and I found my brother, so they're okay, we vouch for them. And you see, and you can see that Turvy, or Topsy, I always get those two damn confused. Topsy is a little, not necessarily intimidated, but you can tell that she's trying to be a little bit more of that open, appealing, not necessarily on guard and take a turn around this, and is very uncomfortable doing so.
The Topsy is the girl, right?
Yes, Topsy's the girl, Turvy's the guy.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, Topsy, it's so good to see you back on your feet, and I'm glad to see that you're actually opening up and, being more of a leader.
She kind of reaches out and just kind of pats your thigh a little bit as she's next to you. And just like, thanks. We'll probably talk later. But you can also see that just with all the eyes of the crowd on y'all, she is very uncomfortable right here.
What if I give her inspiration?
It might help.
Or that's what me saying that was a bardic inspiration.
All right. She kind of, pats your thigh a little bit and then looks out to him and goes, so if you doubt them at all, then let our place in your community be out as well. And Chipgrin kind of looks at them for a moment, looks over at you four, goes, all right. So, if we go, shed this blood, get welcome back into our rightful city, what else you got for us? Because just being treated equally is fine, but if I'm going to convince all of them to go and fight this shit rather than just leave and find a better home, what's our motivation?
Would you like a personal drawing? I'm quite the artist. I dabble.
Kind of looks you over for a moment. Nah.
I'm gonna make you one anyways.
You see him reach over and pet one of the giant rats at his side, and he's like, you got lunch on your way, don't worry. And then Cindy kind of scratches at her chin a little bit. Goes, well, I'd have to probably talk it over with Dorbo, and Chipgrin is like, you know what, I'm gonna save you the trouble. We do this. We get the old throne room. Back there where this old pudding king makes himself at court. Yeah, that's ours.
I was about to offer that.
Point of order, not to interrupt the proceedings in some way, but how do you know about the Pudding King?
I remember that deep gnome from whenever we used to work the tunnels, and clearing out space and trying to get back over to that area.
Can I check him?
Claim the original throne. Yeah, go for it. I recognize him. I remember him. Was a bit crazed back in the day. And, I see what he's doing, gathering all this icky shit.
You see what he's doing?
Yeah.
And you didn't think it'd be great to tell anybody?
Oozes.
Oh, well, yes. Let me go send my people to tell them after, they get killed and kicked out of their place every time we try and talk. Yeah, that's gonna work. No, let them wallow in their own problems. After all, led them back to crawling to us. Now we're getting actually somewhere where they'll listen.
If you could give any information that would help, it'd be very beneficial to every party involved.
We'll say you can't really get much with your insight, Nendor.
Yeah, I figured.
But he goes, I mean, he used to be a, little refugee who was, surviving in the tunnels whenever we first started arriving. Was a little crazed. Wasn't welcome in here or Cindy's little habitat for help. So he ran off. Didn't see him for a while. Next time he showed up, he had these two. I don't know. I guess he'd call them friends. I call them oozes and disgusting things. One looked almost like
male and a female.
Well, I was gonna say melted gray matter and tar, but maybe I don't give them gender.
Okay. Because we did run across two gray matter blobs that formed into kind of a shape of humanoid.
And Out of curiosity, when you were encountering this crazed individual who was appearing to assemble an army of oozes, at any point did you communicate further with this individual?
Last person we sent to talk to him, we got, well, we didn't get nothing back, but we found what was left of him.
How long ago was this?
Uh, probably about 2 cycles ago.
2 cycles.
Yeah, they don't really have the moon and
No,
sun. You gather that could be probably about a month per cycle. You don't know, give or take, a week or two.
Gotcha.
But he goes, and after that, any conversations between our two is either prejudice, you don't belong here, or we're trying to sneak in and sabotage some shit, so we string you out conversations. So, it just hasn't really gone anywhere. But yeah, I figure let it build, get desperate enough, they might listen to us. As he kind of glares down at Cinny.
So, what you're saying is you could have possibly avoided all of this.
I'm saying we tried.
I'm gonna look at Cinny. Nobody wanted to listen. Nope.
My husband
Obviously, she did.
My husband was largely
I'm
in
not.
charge.
I'm not like like addressing her in the matter. It's
Yeah.
No.
But
You wanted to listen.
she does say, in the beginning, my husband was largely in charge of security and this relationship. I was busy trying to get the infrastructure of our city intact. It wasn't until later that I began to discover the real problems here.
So, what you're saying is that you're the brains, and he's just stubborn.
I'm human relations.
Got you.
So the smart one.
Empathetic is what I like to call it.
Human relations.
Or gnome relations, if you want to get technical.
Craig, what I am?
Yeah.
It's not. We don't often see that.
You're gonna learn this, Cinny. You're gonna learn this, Cinny. I'm a very technical person. Okay.
How's that drawing going, buddy?
Oh God, I forgot.
So, well, so I'll throw this out there as a thought for you to consider, Your Highness. Regardless of whether or not Dorbo Diggermatic, the chieftain of the Deep Gnomes, decides to permit this agreement of you taking over the throne room. As we've expressed to you now, there are multiple dangers to your people here, and the agreement between your two people to share this common space and work in its defense, in and of itself, I believe to be more than adequate for the two of you to come together and at least have that agreement. I would suggest, rather than being concerned about throne rooms or other things of that nature, that you be more concerned about making sure that you and your people have a voice in the going-ons of the continued relationship between your two kind. So, in such I say, that you should perhaps suggest that you have a claim in making sure you're sharing knowledge, working together for the betterment of the entire city, for all the people involved, and that there is always at least one member of your own race amidst the leaders and the councils that meet.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion with advantage for the wholesome of this, conversation between everybody. So he kind of looks over at you for a moment, scratches his chin, pulls on some whiskers on the side, twirls them a little bit. You got some nice brains up there, don't you, boy? It's a shame we don't have help like you around here. As he kind of glares at the two guards next to him, and then dusts himself off a little bit and stands up and kind of walks over to the edge of the steps and goes, "All right, Cindy, how about this? We'll fight in this little fight for you. We'll try and help clear out all this nicky problem you got going on back there. But if we succeed, if we do this and bleed for you, we're gonna get our respect. And we're gonna earn our place in this city." And she kind of looks over at y'all for a moment. You see her exchange a look with Jim Jar, and fucking Erengard. Einar, go ahead. Roll me a perception as well. Real quick. Nice. You do, as she makes a motion towards, or looks towards him, you do catch a glimpse of one of her hands kind of make a few motions. And Gregor, you've seen Thieves' Camp, but this isn't even Thieves' Camp. But you do recognize it, Erengard. Or Einar. God damn it. I'm looking at you while I'm saying it. You do recognize a little bit of those symbols. It's different from what you're used to seeing on the surface, but you also gather the flair of the undercommon to it as well. So she then looks to the king and gives a sigh and a kind of shift of her shoulders and acquiesce and goes, "You are too wise, King Chipgrin. If you join us on the battlefield, I personally will ensure that you have a place in our city, and you will get the respect you deserve." And he kind of gives a nod, looks over at kind of the rest of y'all. Normally I don't really care for outsiders, but Topsy and Turvy approve of y'all. As long as you don't cause any problems in my warrens, you can come and go as you please.
You're most gracious, Your Highness. Thank you.
He then looks at Cindy and goes, "But not your people yet. You are in that too." She kind of nods and looks back at y'all like, "Oh, thank God." But then goes, "In a day's time, we will be having a council meeting to prepare ourselves and create battle plans for our preparations. We hope that you and your esteemed guests can join us, Chipgrin." He gives a nod and spits into his hand real quick and then offers it to her. "Oh yeah, we'll see you there." She kind of has that hesitant moment of, oh. She looks like she looks over at you, Nandor, like you should. No, I guess I have to, don't I?
I spit on my hand.
All right, you walk up and you shake that hand real
And
quick.
hold on. And
Oh.
like I'm gonna use precipitation just to like clean it up as we do it.
All right. Are you trying to do that subtly?
Yes.
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand. All right. So
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little like, oh, here we go. If he
The way the
sees this,
rolls
we're
are bad tonight.
right. He sees this, I swear.
So as you walk up, you spit in your hand, and you kind of have that brief shudder as you do. But you put your other hand behind your back, and the rest of y'all see him make a very brief flick of the wrist. That is the arcane, sigil with your fingers. And right before your two hands clasp, the spit dries from both, and you shake his hand. He shakes yours in response, and goes, good. At least one of you has the balls to do it. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't let the stones hit you on the way out. And then he just kind of turns and flicks a hand over his shoulder as he makes his way back up to his throne and just lounges into it. The rest of the were-rats kind of in the area begin to talk amongst each other, some kind of splitting off, some staying to remain and look. And Cinny looks to the rest of y'all and goes, Jim Job, do me a favor and let's get out of here. I have to have a few conversations with my husband. For the rest of you, we will be going over battle plans and preparation in the next few days. You are quite welcome for your opinions and any other preparation you need. Just let us know. And I thank you for your help today.
I'll escort you back, my lady.
Thank you.
The door.
As we're leaving, I spit in my hand and shake this rat's hand as quickly as possible without him trying to pull it away. I say, all right,
Just
thank you.
random rat or regular?
Yeah, just this random rat. Nice to meet you. Okay, bye.
All right. Make me a sleight of hand.
Rolls a nat 20.
I just thought it was the way that we do things.
So you as you turn and you see a rat just kind of looking at you as you go by, and you're like, thank you, bye. And the rest of you just kind of see him standing there like.
And then I just kind of like say to the guys, all right guys, let's go.
I'm gonna be like, let me clean that for you. Just like presentation. It's like, okay. Sorry about that. He's
Don't you guys
just
stay
yeah.
and talk to your friends?
I'm just shaking my head. I'm the last one.
What was that, Einar?
Don't you guys want to stay and talk to your friends? I can escort Cinny and Jim Jar back. You guys can stay and I'll meet you back here in a little bit. You should catch up with your friends.
Topsy-turvy.
I don't know those two.
I'll stay behind. You go.
I will walk up to Topsy and Turvy and go, hi, I'm Einar. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard stories. You both seem like wonderful individuals, and I look forward to having a full conversation with you soon. And I extend my hand to them.
Topsy, this is my brother Turvy. He doesn't talk as much. He just kind of nods, and instead of shaking your hand, daps. And she goes, we were imprisoned with your friends? Are they your friends?
Yes. Ish. I mean, one of those things.
Still a learning
We're all
process.
in this for a mutual gain, escape. And
I mean, if it's any consolation, that's about where we're at with them too. So,
excellent. Then we're all on the same page.
I still owe Einar whiskey, so.
I will absolutely love to catch up with you some more and talk with you and hear more about the stories from your perspective, because I'm sure they're a lot more interesting for these characters. But I do need to speak with the chieftain's wife, or the chieftain. You know, it's really confusing, Cinny, this whole, like, you're the chieftain, he's the chieftain thing. Like, we have to figure that out. Anyway,
It's just the royal we.
Can I be chieftain?
No.
No, Craig. No, Craig.
Even a few of the rats kind of turn to look at you and are just like, no.
He means well, guys. He means well. He means well. Gregor, you should go with Cinny and see if he's got any stuff that you could draw.
Okay.
The signature
All
Gregor, okay.
I'll head off with Cinny and Jim Jar.
And Gregor.
I guess Gregor is coming too.
I go where I'm needed.
You know, Gregor, actually, before you come with us,
Yes.
what would really help out, I think, is imagine that big amphitheater that we saw. You know the one I'm talking about, the one with all the oozes in it. Now
Yes.
imagine that space, no oozes,
Go on.
and 3 thrones.
Yes.
Draw it for me. But one of the thrones has to look exactly like the throne that the king is sitting in right now.
It will be my best work ever. I'm on it, Einar.
Leave it.
Could someone help him?
And I am going to leave with Cinny and Jim Jar and hopefully leave Gregor behind with Ramas and Nando.
Oh, God.
All right.
I don't like those rolls, Pat. I never do.
So, Einar, you head off with the
Fuck.
other 2, as the rest of y'all stay.
Hold on.
Oh,
Topsy Turby, how about you guys come with us? I'll vouch for Turby.
and they kind of look at each other. How? And then she kind of leans closer to you and motions you close, and it's just like, how does it smell on that side?
Better than this.
Okay, we're going. and they begin to follow you as well.
Oh, topsy-turvy. Oh, why didn't you guys say so? What's up? Hey, I missed
I'm
you.
just gonna, again, zipper.
I thought you guys were turvy topsy.
They just kind of stare up at you, Gregor, and they're just, Turby's like, uh-huh.
I'm gonna reach in my pack and pull out some ripple bark and be like, "It's nice to have you guys back." And see if they want it.
And they kind of grab it.
Don't.
Turby reaches into a pocket and pulls out some unidentified jerky and passes it to you. It's a bit gamey.
We both like clink it, you know.
Yeah.
I make it taste good.
Not bad. It's just nice having you guys back. Walk with us.
The problem with you making it taste good is now they're going to go out one day and look for ripple bark somewhere, and they're going to find it. They're going to be like, remember this stuff? It tasted like filet mignon. And they're going to be like,
It does taste like filet mignon.
Well, there you go. That's on them.
What are you saying, Einar?
Nothing. He's not saying anything. Hey, how's that drawing coming along?
He's still. You can't talk. Your lips are sealed.
How's that? He's found the zipper. He's found the zipper. Like, zips up, zip down.
What are you saying exactly, Einar?
Yeah.
So Topsy is as y'all are walking goes, it is good to see you as well. After we last saw each other, I was preoccupied with getting my brother to safety. Though we did hear some terrible earthquakes shortly after we saw you. Tried to go back to where we last saw each other, and well, we saw the destruction.
Yeah, that was a Demogorgon.
I do not know what that is, but if it did that, I do not want to know.
Okay.
I am just glad that you survived, though. What happened to the other one? 2. There was also the big furry one.
Princes, no more.
Okay, so as we're walking, I'm gonna basically explain that to them.
Do I have? I know I've rolled a knowledge check that was very high for a Demogorgon in the past when I've heard these stories. So do I have an idea of what it looks like?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So while we're walking and they're saying that whole like I don't know what it looks like, I just conjure an image, like a holographic image of it in my hand, and I go, "It looks like that, just 6 stories tall."
And there's a few minor things that those of you who have seen it in person can tell the difference between like the sketch artist rendering versus what it actually is. And it's kind of close, yet the real thing just exudes so much more terrifying presence
So
and reality than what it sees. But yeah,
imagine that, but a lot more,
Terrifying.
a lot more of a exuding energy that will just cause you to lose your mind.
they kind of exchange a look at each other, shake their head, and go, "Well, we understand and are sorry for your loss. The furry one didn't seem so bad. Neither did the glowy one. But
The glowy one was kind of dick, let's be honest.
We're not gonna get into a holy battle here.
but we are at least glad that you are surviving. And are you still looking for a way out?
Yep. So if you know a way out, let us know.
Some of the rats here have been close to the surface, but I don't know if they have actually made it to the top.
There's plenty of reds everywhere. I'm pretty sure that some of them have.
I do not doubt. But seems that, your problems with crazy, scary things is only just beginning. You guys are kind of cursed or something, huh? I thought we had it bad.
Oh, you have no idea. And I show her the ruby.
Yeah. There are better ways to get, piercings.
Yeah, little Uzi Vert just put a pink diamond in his forehead.
Yeah.
About to Thanos that thing.
Yep. That's first thought too.
Right?
Well, that's unnatural. And Turvey is just like, nope. Nope.
I like it. He doesn't.
So when I show him the ruby, I like try to. It's like you see, there's light, and there's like obviously nothing comes out.
Well, we remember the shiny sword light. Fuck that thing. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
But
that's
it doesn't look like it. But you know what? Well, we will take your word for it.
Follow us to the surface, and you'll see.
No, there's more of that bright shit up there, isn't there?
Certain hours, yes.
No, longer than a minute. Good. So, but they continue to, join you into the city. And once they arrive into Blingdenstone proper, you can see that a few of the guards who were at the gate waiting kind of tense up at first, but Cindy makes a motion to them and kind of quickly explains to them what's going on and that they're sort of the first refugees, ambassadors, or of that sort to come through the gate. And the twins, you can tell, hadn't ever set foot inside the city itself. And while one hangs around and looking like a deep gnome, the other is constantly in were-rat hybrid form. So they get a few gazes as they begin to walk through the city with
Okay.
you.
So as that happens, I'm basically going to look at everyone and be like, he's fine. He used to be just like you guys. Something happened to him. It's just a normal thing. It's just like you guys. That is it. If you have a problem, talk to me.
Or me.
Most people kind of go to shift away and everything. And do you try and do anything intimidating whenever you do yours, Craigor?
Yeah, I just kind of like flex my pecs at him.
You're wearing armor.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just like, what?
Gregor, you mean like this?
Exactly like that. Exactly like that.
You're getting there, bud. You're getting there.
There's a few who kind of look, but as soon as y'all say anything, they quickly look away or make oh no, it's fine, just surprised type excuses and things like that. But you're able to very easily show the twins around the city, do whatever you'd like with them. Jim Jar goes with Cindy back to Diggermatic Hall. And begins to plan and prep with them in the hall. So at this point, I will say we are now going to go into a little bit of a downtime as everything preps for the excursion, and you will get a few days. I will say there will not be enough time to pass for the shipments that have been sent off to Gracklestug and Neverlight, but it'll at least, if nothing else, if all is well, provide defenses for the future for them.
That's what I figured. So I'm like with the twins. I'm gonna show them like that singing hall.
Okay.
That way, it's like, oh, you could like sing here, and then like all these lights will show up, and it's just like because that's like the main attraction, I'm assuming.
It's definitely a very big thing for them here, yeah.
And it's like I'm expecting Topsy. Topsy's a guy, right?
Turvy's the guy, Topsy's the
Okay, so I'm expecting Turby, like, even though he's silent, like, to have a beautiful fucking voice.
He does definitely seem very impressed with it, but you would have to roll a persuasion to try and convince him to try to, do any singing.
That works.
So I will say he doesn't sing on the first day, but during the second day, you are looking around. You don't notice him for a while until you notice Turvy up at the top, kind of looking towards the crystals, and you can hear this very deep voice kind of echoing, and it's giving off this almost galaxy style colors from the crystals up top, to where it's like real dark shades of like purples and this almost like blue black color with little pinpricks of light here and there, and it is more kind of like that monk deep throat chanting that they do, versus actual like verbal words and singing.
Okay.
Is it like the old Halo chant?
Kind of. Just imagine
Alright.
him from like super bassy level.
Bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bet. I knew it. And since like I showed them that, like, you know, like any other attractions, I'll tell Jim Jar to show them because they know Jim Jar. And then I'm also gonna spend those few days also trying to, again, get attuned with like the earth, the rock.
All
Stuff
right.
like that.
All right.
I have some armor to make.
Yep. And easy enough to continue and finish as you do that.
Also, I'm gonna pretend that I never tell Jim Jar about the deal.
Are we?
Yeah.
'Cause, you know he's gonna come back for it.
No, I'm gonna tell him it's like, remember that time how I got you? Remember that time how I got you that necklace? Yeah. There's 100 gold.
Nah. Separate deal.
Persuasion?
Oh, he's a stickler about that.
I know he
So we'll
is.
say it is a very high DC. That was actually the number I set. So, okay, yeah, no, he's convinced. He's like, all right. Next time I have to pull you from some rock elementals, though.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind whenever you're knocked out as well and you're dying.
Never happens. I don't know what you're talking about. So, is there anything else for, the first day, second day that y'all would like to particularly do during this downtime?
I would like to train Craig in this time, at least probably the first 2 days. Just trying to get him to be a little more tame and maybe take some new commands.
All right. What are you trying to teach him this time around? Because I know last time you were refining hide.
Yes. I'm going to say fetch and possibly maybe just a like attack mode kind of. Or you know what? No, not that. I'm going to say heal because I'm not teaching him to attack yet because I don't want him to get. I want to be able to call him back if I have to.
Okay.
Bardic Inspiration, that's it.
All right. And that is a D8 now, yes?
Yep.
All right. So go ahead and roll me your animal handling and add a D8 to it.
Can you roll again?
What the hell? What happened there?
You rolled a 3 plus 3, and you have a minus
-1.
Did I? Are you kidding
No,
me?
you did it right. You did it
You
right.
did it right.
He typed it wrong. It's clearly typed wrong.
No. That no.
Damn
He
it.
fucked up. He's just dumb.
What the
Sorry.
hell?
Sorry, man.
You ain't no ranger.
I'm sorry, buddy. I tried.
You know what, Greg?
So-
We'll work on this another time.
Yeah, let's say.
You go to teach him fetch on the first day, and he goes into one of the little cracks in the city that is just kind of naturally in the walls. And you don't get it. He's gone for 36 hours before he, one day you're just stressing out, looking through the city for him, very distracted for the very first 2 days, trying just to search all over. And then one day you're just kind of sitting there, and you just kind of feel this tugging on your backpack and the pouch where your food normally is at. and you look over and you can see Craig kind of behind you, just
Food.
Okay, I kind of like lovingly grab him by the neck and pull him towards. Like, come here, you got me so worried, Craig. What is your problem? God damn it! And then I say, I'm sorry, baby. I can't stay mad at you. And then I just put him back in my bag. I said, we'll pick this up another day.
So do I roll religion or what do I roll, Matt?
You won't have to be rolling anything right now. This is more of training a skill.
Okay.
So I will say, if anything, you can roll me a straight wisdom or intelligence, your choice.
Oh shit.
Very nice. So you're kind of doing a sort of group seminar between all the acolytes and things like that, as the Nomi and Gurnik are busy with a lot of the preparations right now. But you do begin to pick up a lot of the skills from the acolytes themselves, and they begin to help you understand more and do what he had said before of, kind of removing some of your senses to help with the others and things like that. So, yeah. It is a very successful 2 days for you. You don't quite feel what you're searching for yet, but you can feel yourself understanding more.
Okay.
So.
Bet.
Einar, doing anything in particular for these first 2 days?
For the first day, I'm going to see if I can find some time to chat with Cinny.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough to do at some point through the first day.
And then for the second day, we can have that conversation at another time. For the second day, I will go back to the Grove and just politely ask if they had found anything that they felt would be of use.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if by any chance they had had a chance to review their method of looking for this demon creature that they've talked about.
All right. So, yes.
Ron Eldith.
Yeah, I know. So, first day, you managed to find Cinny during a kind of low recess point of, the main meetings that they're having between people. You can see, Jim Jar leaves kind of the meeting with everyone else, and it's just like, oh, hey, Einar, good to see you. Good. I'm going home. I'm gonna have a drink and collect my debts for the day. You have a good one.
And you.
And as you approach Cindy, who's there kind of leaning up against her desk, kind of flipping through some papers, Dorbo's off on the side talking with one of the aides as well. But she looks up and it's just like, Einar, yes?
Yes. I was hoping that I could steal a few moments of your time.
I have at least a few.
In private.
I see. Come. And she begins to head out. Dorbo looks up and she just like, he just has a few things to ask. Do not worry. I will have a guard nearby. He kind of nods as well.
I look over at Dorbo and I'm like, really? Like,
and she
that kind of an expression on my face. Like,
yeah. And she looks up at you as she's doing that and she's like, it's more the increased amount of were-rats in the city. He's still worried.
really?
He's still worried that there is some bad blood between him and Chipgrin, between the first few losses of life between our people.
Believe me, Cinny, if anything happens while I'm with you, you're gonna be fine.
That's why I told him not to worry. And
Show,
she does
show her the fire. Show her the fire you can do.
No.
She does take you to a little side burrow that is off on there and ask a few of the guards to kind of post up at the front of it. And on the inside, it's less of a homestead, but you can tell it is almost like a really nice office or waiting room that they may have for certain people that visit the hall. But she makes a motion to one of the chairs there, and then kind of, they may not be right for your size, but get comfortable as best as you like.
Oh, no, it's perfectly fine. Before I sit down and I lift up my sleeve and dismiss the covering on my arcane mark, to reveal to her that, and then allow it to fade out of view again before I take a seat.
She kind of sits there for a moment and stares at you, just kind of not necessarily judging, but evaluating, thinking to herself for a moment, but seems to stay silent unless you say anything first, or do you just kind of wait for her?
I give her the moment that she needs to kind of absorb that before I go. How much difficulty do you think we're going to have in convincing Dorbo to help with the whole Demogorgon thing?
She kind of leans back in the chair, and looks towards the entrance where the guards are, and back to you. Well, if everything is in order here, for the benefit of our city, it would be best to most certainly deal with this threat that is roaming the Underdark. However, I can tell you that if he goes into the fight alone, we will not. Do you know if there are others who have learned about this or who are acting on it? And might I ask, from what branch do you come from?
That's a very long story, but the surface, obviously. As far as other people that are aware of it, that's really the reason why my companions are attempting to reach the surface, and why I've decided to help them as well. As you can imagine, it's something that I think it would affect the surface as much as it would the Underdark itself. So once we reach the surface, yes, there will be many, many more. I'm certain of that. But my concern, obviously, is for the denizens here, first and foremost.
Aye, and that is ours as well. Although, unfortunately, as you can see, our city is fresh and its power structure is still being built.
Tenuous,
which is left. Is left to my own connections and ability rather limited while I've been down here. But if all of this succeeds, and with your help and connections as well, I believe that we can quite easily convince him. My husband is unaware of my own affiliations, but he does know me as a woman with many friends, which is why I am very much in charge of the internal politics of our city.
and a wise thing that you are. A good position for you to be in, but I hope this indicates to you that if you do have contacts outside of the city, perhaps ones even on the surface, you could entrust me to deliver your messages to them. Especially if they could help with that particular matter.
It would be nice to remove Jim Jaw from that problem. It's one of the reasons why he got captured from his return from the surface. I will most certainly keep this in mind. And I am sure that if all goes well here, you and I can have a very beneficial future together.
I am certain of that as well. Perhaps you can help me with finding out some of the questions that I have, the reasons why I am down here.
Of course, I will gladly do what I can. And I know if you are heading to the surface, there are at least a few that I still have within the city of Gauntlgrim. So, whenever you go, and I imagine you are going to see the king if you make it up, yes?
Yes. Or at the very least, someone who has his ear.
Well, if we are successful here, I can at least give you that person.
Excellent. Well then, I guess we should get back to our preparations. I don't want to keep you.
Before we do, tell me, what is it you search for? I can have a few of my friends outside of the city begin to look, at least while we're busy here.
How to put this? An answer to the source of what I am. And I will use...
This is still the first day, just so you know. So if you wanted to use something more powerful.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why I'm looking for something.
Something that doesn't kill her. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. I will, I'll throw up mage armor and then I'll throw up shield just to show her the change in my skin.
So you just kind of keep one hand up as you do a quick shift and the flowing armor appears and then the bright glow. And at first she has a moment of reflex, just habit habitually. But as she does, she can see your skin begin to change from that nice smooth tan to that darker black color across your fingertips and down to the back of your hand. She goes to grab your hand as well and kind of look at it closer upon inspection.
Yeah, well, I allow her.
Well, I've seen a few magic casters, but I haven't seen any that do that to themselves. What exactly are you?
Half of an elf.
And the other half?
To be honest, I don't know. I understand my lineage probably stretches somewhere down here, but I don't know what that lineage is exactly. Based on the tone of the skin, I have a few guesses.
I can begin to take make some inquiries, but there might be a place that you will search for. It will take you deeper into the Underdark, so it may not be of any help right now. But there is a place of legend down here. A library that is said to hold all the information of the Underdark. all that has happened and all that is happening, called Graven Hollow. If you are seeking answers for something that happened or originated from here, you might be able to seek out this place.
Graven Hollow. Couldn't have a better, more cheerful name, like Rainbow Gumdrop Land or Candy Apple World or...
You forget, dear, you're in the Underdark, where everything is dark and terrible.
Yeah, I know. I just miss the sun.
Well, that would make one of us.
Fair enough. Well, I'll certainly look this place out once all the rest of this is done. I'm sure it'll be some time before I have the chance for that, at least.
We will do what we can as well, and I will do what I can for a friend.
You have my gratitude. And with that,
She
Stand
stands
up.
as well, and makes a motion for the door. Also, Jimjaw is affiliated, as we are. Has been for a long time. So, if you also need some assistance, and I am unavailable, he has a lot of the information I do.
excellent. I will keep that in mind, though his habits with betting on things, a little concerning to me.
In the beginning, we had to make money somehow. He found to be very good at it to fund us.
Fair enough. I don't doubt that. I
If
suppose
you-
now he sort of maintains a balance in the economy, ultimately.
And also, honestly, just likes to tease my husband. It's rather entertaining.
By the way, what exactly was that picture that Gregor drew?
Not actually bad. It was Gregor very excitedly hugging and spinning my husband. And for some reason, I think there was someone streaking in the back. Or Fernando? I don't know.
That sounds about right.
But it was very flattering, and much to my husband's chagrin, it is now up on the wall in our home.
I'm sure Gregor would be happy to know that. Sorry.
And as she's chuckling with you, she does, right before getting to the top, go, in case you do not wish to reveal your symbol again, and you run into one of our agents down here, we have a sort of a call sign. You should tell them that all beings should walk free of fear, and they will respond with the right to live their lives as they wish.
I'll keep that in mind. And I appreciate that because it's already been a little bit of a challenge keeping this secret.
I can imagine. I know I've lived with mine long enough. And then she heads out, rejoins her guards, and the two of you split.
Fuck did Gregor see Nandor naked?
He didn't, but he has an imagination.
As far as you know.
You, and granted, y'all were prisoners for a while. I don't know what happened there.
And you have bathed.
Have we bathed?
In my decanter, yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
Nandor's just like, oh, the flashes of regret. That's right. PTSD. That is blocked away for a reason. All right. So, and then you said, what else were you doing on the second day?
I'm going to the druids.
The peeps.
Looking to
That's
see if
right.
they've got anything for me.
So they say they do, actually. They tell you, or actually, it'd be not Gurnik, one of his acolytes, but we had to look through a few of our stores to try and find something appropriate for you. So Tapfinger said you were interested in a staff of sorts, so we tried to see if we had any, and we did. It does not look in the best of condition, but we are quite certain that its magical effect is still in effect. As they unwrap a... it's a bit short for you. It kind of acts more of it like a walking stick versus a full-on staff in terms of height. But it is also cracked in a few different places, and it looks like it has a few splinters kind of coming off of it. It looks just like an unworked piece of wood. But you do see amongst it a few glyphs kind of faded across it. And as they kind of pass it up to you, if you want, you can make me an Arcana, just looking at it very quickly. See if any of the glyphs, ring out. Oh, nice.
They ring.
Very nice. Yeah.
They ring really loudly.
So, looking over it, you very quickly can put together what kind of magic this is, and the enchantment on it says, when hitting a critical point with this weapon, it will increase the pain to that area. But it is this. A vicious quarterstaff.
Excellent.
Mm. Go ahead.
I'm grateful. Thank you.
We are sorry that it does not look better.
Perfectly fine.
And we have also communed with the men here, and we have deduced that the Ogre Moxbane is still within Rockblight. It is not yet corrupted the steadfast stone either. And unfortunately we were unable to pin its exact location as we did not have a proper map of the area to define where it was.
I show him the map.
We have an old map of ours, and he kind of goes and pulls out one as well. And the main difference is the area that you had found the Medusa in, her lair, seemed to be just like a small offshoot cave, wasn't a full-on lair. But they go, unfortunately, with the nature of the commune spell, I mostly had to point at an area and go, is it here? And it told me no. And did not have enough communication or time yet to fully circle in where it is yet.
You said that it takes over things of stone, right? Like elementals.
That we have tested, yes. our summoned earth elementals and the Galebdur seem to sway, as well as the gargoyles that we once had in our home.
Do you ever have a bunch of statues of drow? Like training dummies or something like that?
It does not ring a bell. Nothing, at least in what I have read from our history.
I point to the map where we saw that. There was like a collection of like drow stone soldiers, right? Yeah. So I point to the map where we found, and then like there was like 20 drow stone soldiers in here. And when we walked into the room, they attacked us. But when we walked out of the room, they weren't able to leave.
Interesting. I do not know if that is the Bane itself, those statues, but
perhaps it created them.
Ah.
Or the Medusa created them and it just inhabited their forms.
there was a record of a platoon of soldiers that went missing shortly after the invasion here. It was found in old drow records whenever we began to retake our city.
Okay. Maybe help me find those records?
And, going through, spending about an hour or two in their records burrow, you do manage to find old drow records of a platoon that was commanded by a drow mistress named Nedra that had gone missing.
History check and roll on that? Probably not.
Yeah, it doesn't ring out the name.
Okay. I'll copy down the report in my book.
Okay.
I can go talk to the rest of the group of it.
All right. I'll say, if you want, easy enough for them, unless anyone else has anything particular they like to do, but have all of y'all meeting up at the what is it called?
At the bar.
Yeah, the bar. It has an actual name.
Yeah,
Mug.
guys, we finally made it. We made it to a tavern. This is officially D&D now.
The first tavern in 25 episodes.
So, bartender, got any quests?
Why?
Yeah, no, actually, there are a few things I could have taken care of.
Hey, so that weird guy in the dark corner over there, we talked to him. Has he got some stuff for us?
We're underground, but you hear.
The one that looks like Aragon over there. Yeah, we're gonna talk.
Yeah,
to
he's been watching us all night. Hasn't stopped looking at us since we got here.
So, don't buy a sundial. They don't work.
Okay. That's a shame I don't drink.
I could have a drink actually. I know. First round on me.
You're on, buddy.
Let's go.
So while they do that, I'm gonna go get a drink.
All right. So you all gather up your drinks, have a seat, a chance to sit down. At this point, Ramos, your armor has been finished, so you kind of have, the extra just pack on attached to your shit, filled with it till you see Ront and everything. But Anything you'd like to discuss while you gather for the first time?
So,
Give me the strongest drink you got.
on the agenda for tomorrow, I think that we need to figure out where Ront and Aldith are, because I'm getting a little worried, and also I'm cold at night. So I think that's important.
Matt, strongest drink that they have. I want to. So while he's like talking, I'm gonna be like,
It is a. Are you asking for like just a drink or like the bottle?
bottle.
Okay. So the bottle is gonna run you 50 gold, so you know.
50?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is a almost orange color, like a real bright brown that it almost hits that orange color.
Is it Dragon's Breath?
It is not.
Okay.
But it does have what look to be like these faintly glowing, they look like very small boba that are just kind of bobbing and moving in it as well.
Okay.
And the top of it looks like a mushroom cap, but it's made of stone, that acts as a cork. And it has a brand on it called Fire Cap.
Fire cap. Okay. I'll buy the bottle.
All right.
And I'll have a chocolate milk.
I spike his chocolate milk.
Hey, he still has to draw, okay? He still has to draw. He can't do that.
We don't have any chocolate here. That's super rare. But we have some spider's milk.
Yeah. Can you warm that up in the fire for me? I like it warm.
Of course, hon. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna just take like 2 swigs from the bottle.
Me and Einar are just like, we need to talk. Let's talk.
What happens?
It burns. It's a burn, like that liquor burn, but also it's really warm.
It's
and
gasoline.
It's just got some heat to it, almost like that Everclear moment, and the little bits that are in it, as you kind of feel it and bite down on it, it pops in your mouth, and as Nandor is kind of looking over at y'all, takes a sip, you can just see these faint little like rays of light, just this, like, he's got a glow stick in his mouth as he pops one of those little bobas that's in there. And yeah, you drink enough of that, you're gonna get real drunk real quick.
Okay.
Gonna start playing his flute in the middle of the freaking tavern. Look what I can do, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
drunken
perform.
Andor.
I'm gonna perform and try to earn that 50 gold back.
Drink, Andor, drink.
Go ahead and roll me a performance, as everybody, as the rest of your parties sat around the table, and you're kind of leaning back in your chair, playing your pipe of sewers as you go.
Liquid courage advantage.
Liquid courage straight.
That's fine.
All right. So, what would you use? I know you were going to discuss as Nandor begins to play.
So I pull out my book and I go, so I was talking with the sages in the Stoneheart Enclave, and we were talking about the Griggle Gore Gurdi, the stone demon thing that takes over their elementals. And the one thing that stands out to me that we didn't mention before is those drow soldiers that we saw. And they told me that that's not something from them, but they have this record of a group of drow, platoon of drow soldiers that went missing shortly after the drow took over the city. and I kind of like slide it over to the table, and I'm like, this name doesn't ring any bells for me, but I'm wondering if any of you have heard this name before. And I can't remember, honestly, Matt, what the name was.
That's
I'm
all right.
vibing.
Nahidra.
Do we all roll history?
Go for it.
Nothing.
Vibing.
Gregor, do you want to give it a try?
History?
If you'd like. You don't have to roll if you don't want to.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So yeah, doesn't seem to ring a bell to him.
I stopped in the middle of the song. What was the name?
Nahidra?
Like, and as I'm playing the song, I'm just gonna ponder on it to see if I remember.
Doesn't seem to ring a bell for you either.
Damn.
I wonder if the drow statues that we found have something to do with this ogre mark thing. Maybe we could go back in there and investigate
another
those
strike.
more. And I mean, at the very least, destroy them, right? Like, if they don't belong to these people, then we should get rid of them before they end up hurting somebody. If we do end up defeating all the oozes and the puddings and the
Maybe we
Putting
could also
forward.
use them because they didn't want to leave that room. Maybe they're being controlled. If we find what's controlling them, we can.
and that's a possibility.
The more the merrier.
That's true. That's true. We could potentially use them. My bigger concern would be that they're like either guarding it or being controlled by it, but its sphere of influence is very limited. I mean, if they can't leave that room, there's no reason for the puddings or the oozes to go in there at this point.
Right.
We could try and funnel them that direction, but that would take a lot of blasting for us to make like that path be the only one that they could follow. I don't know.
Gregor, are you sure you don't have anything on? You are a drow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of spaced out there for a second, but I will be happy to check.
So,
This spider book is just so damn good.
It just rolls in that 20, please.
So as the night's
Please roll.
continuing, I'm gonna eventually just like go to bed.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Do you just get up and
Are you gonna, like,
leave
pass on
while
the
we're
table?
in the middle of talking about this, or are you just gonna like pass out right there?
Kind of pass out.
Tell
right
me
there.
that 18. Tell me that 18 works.
You know, come to think of it,
So, kind of thinking, historically, you still got no idea.
I got nothing.
But-
I'm sorry.
But
Ooh.
there was a but that you saw. No, not really. But you did see
It was
earlier, whenever you were in Rocklight and in the heat of the moment of kind of running around and doing things like that,
Stressing out about Craig.
very much. There was, in fact, a name mentioned, written in a room in Undercommon, Nahidra, where you found your longbow.
Oh, you know, I'd kind of say the whole thing that, yeah. There was a,
You know-
Nidra.
Oh, wait, okay. Would I be asleep
Wait,
by this
is
point? or
that
not?
Nahidra's head in your bag?
Not yet. Is that what you said?
Not yet.
Okay. You know, I had a feeling like Because I've taken like 3 swigs already. Like you
Go
said,
ahead and make a con save.
okay.
Can we get somebody to take him to the room?
Better get somebody else. This spider
Oh,
hook
he's
is hitting
good.
me pretty hard.
He's good.
No,
He's
you're,
good.
you're riding that fucking wave right now, man.
Okay. Okay.
I love you guys.
So,
I love you guys so much right now. Just
okay.
You're
So,
drunk without the disadvantage on the poison checks and everything, you know?
so now that I think about it, like they did go missing, right? And it was Nahidra that was. It was. She also went missing, right? So what if? She was turned into Medusa, and maybe that's her, the head that you cut off, right? And maybe, just follow along with me. Follow along with me, guys. Follow along with me. Are you following along?
What?
right.
Go on.
What if that thing that's controlling them, the elementals and stuff, was the thing that turned the drow into stone and turned her into a Medusa? I'm just saying. I continue to lean back and continue to play the flute.
Right.
I wish the rats would come and take him to.
What I just said. But anyway, so I mean, I think we have to go back and take care of those statues.
Right. Take care of them.
Yes, I do mean
Boy.
destroy them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I knew that. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Hey, Nandor. Hey, buddy. You still got any more of that?
Was that last week?
Hey, I know. You want to check them real quick?
As you say that, you all begin to start hearing a few people kind of talking and towards the door, kind of excited and looking over and things like that. Hey, Nandor,
Mm-hmm.
can you roll me a D100?
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it. /roll 1d100, right?
Yes.
Fuck.
That could be good.
All right. So, as you hear them all kind of going off and talking and kind of whispering, and Einar, I believe you have the highest passive. You can hear a few people kind of going, "Oh yeah, they're back. I heard they found it." And you can see a few people kind of looking outside and out of the tavern and at something.
Someone's back, and they found something. I say
Wrong?
as I turn and
Ron, Eldith?
kind of stand
Think?
up to look and see. Possibly.
And Matt, I'm basically leaning back like this, okay? Just like you know, like whenever you're holding your foot like on the table and just like balancing the chair. Yeah.
All right. So you stand up and you can definitely get a few heads over the deep gnomes that are looking out. And taking a look, you can see there are a few figures out there. Some of them are the shamans, the earth callers, talking to another set of individuals. And you do recognize the height and width of Ront and Eldith standing there before them, talking to them. Ront is currently wearing what looks to be some sort of a hide leather armor currently, with a two-hand sword slung over one shoulder. And you can see Eldith kind of off to the side slightly, and there are two priests that are kind of clustered around her, seemingly talking to her and bent over her frame, kind of obscuring view.
I lean over very quickly and punch Nandor in the dick. And I go, Ron and Eldith are back, and it looks like Eldith might be hurt. And I head that way.
And I get really excited. I get really excited. I throw my mug in the air and it bounces off the wall and hits Nandor in the head. And then I go, let's go.
And in my state, I throw the chair back really far. Chair and knock.
I didn't hear that last part.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did.
Into Nandor's chair. Yeah, you actually did cut off. I think he said into Nandor's chair.
Oh yeah, no. I put I throw the chair in excitement, and it hits Nandor's chair, and it causes him to fall over.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna. I start climbing the wall and just fucking knock out. Like I fall asleep on the ceiling. No.
All right.
Too bad.
You mean no?
Oh no! So you curl up in the rafters in the most comfortable spot as everyone else rushes out, kind of clearing a little path between the knee-high deep gnomes. And you all step out, and as you do, Ront kind of looks over, hearing the commotion, and lifts a hand at y'all and is just like, hey! And you all run up, and you can see he's looking pretty good. He's got, a few little scrapes on him here and there, possibly got into a tussle of some sort. And you can see Eldith off to the side as well, and she lifts a hand up to y'all and is like, oh, hey! Don't you worry, it's worse than it looks. And as you all approach, you can see that the priests kind of take a step and move off to the side, and her left arm at the hand is severed.
Oh!
You can see there is straight stone around the wrist that looks like it had creeped up a little bit to about a part of the forearm, and then is now just kind of caked over where the hand was. And as she's just kind of like, oh, it's no big deal.
Is this a
That's
D100?
next session.
Is this a D100?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's got no hand. Was that what you're saying?
No hand.
Wow.
Dear. Dear. I can make you something in the forge. Like an attachment, a bayonet attachment, sword that you can use.
Knife hand.
She only wants a chainsaw, just saying.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say that, but then I was like, we're not gonna have that here in this world.
Hey man,
So.
magic can make anything happen, all
Just
right?
get her a boomstick and we're ready to go. Oh my God, what a cliffhanger, man. Matt, another job well done. Guys, that's going to do it for this episode number 25.
We lost you on this side.
Oh, sorry. Okay. That's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on episode 25 of Heathens and Heroes. If you want to see more, don't forget you can always find us on YouTube by just searching for Heathens and Heroes or following the About Me link in the About Me link below. You can follow the link below. That's it. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. Why don't you leave a like button? That would help us out a lot. Other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll see you next time on Heathens and Heroes, episode number 26.
By the way, you're all level 7.
Oh, and leveled up. Let's go. Good night, folks. Have a great night.
I'm asleep on the roof. Oh.